Thank you all for joining us tonight for the GPAC postgame press conference. We have head coach Matt Murken and student athlete Caleb Van De Griend from Minot State University. The Beavers advanced to the championship game in the 2025 NSIC men's basketball tournament after defeating Minnesota State in this evening's semifinal game. We'll start off with an opening statement from head coach Matt Murken and then open it up for any questions. Coach?
Yeah, great game. Real battle. I thought both teams were at a high level today, as you'd expect. Getting after it defensively a little bit. We had to change our coverages a little bit on our defensive ball screens because, Kyrie's and Justin Egan's are so dynamic coming off that. They do a great job creating space for those guys to attack. They're physical on their screening actions. And it put, Caleb and our other 5 men in a tough spot with our guards coming off. So we had to switch some things. We had to hard hedge a little bit, mix up what we're doing. I'm really proud of our guys' coverage on that late. Did a good job on Egan's the second half because, those guys were hitting some big-time senior tough shots. So I got to give a lot of respect to them. And players make plays, and down the stretch, Caleb was huge. Sam West played for us great down the stretch, made some big-time plays, and we got back to winning loose balls there at the end and kind of uglied it up a little bit when they had a few possessions where we couldn't they needed something to get a tie game or take the lead. So really proud of our guys' effort defensively and then taking care of the ball the second half.
Coach, first question for you. First time in program history playing in the championship game, your 13th season. What has this meant to you so far?
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge for us. It's not about me. It's about the guys that have played basketball at Minot State. I've got two of them on my bench, the two older guys, Coach Brandt, all right, and then we've got Coach Lemke there. And they're happier than anybody because they've seen where it's come from to where it's at. We've won in the past, but since the jump to D2, it's been a grinder. And we had to build it kind of from scratch at that point in time. And, you don't go from the teams in our area didn't go from D2 to the Big 10 or the Big 12. They went to some other leagues first, and now they've kind of worked their way up. And we've got some good basketball in the Dakotas and in the Summit League and some of those other D1 leagues. Man, we went from NAI before I got there. My first year, we're going to the Big 10 or the Big 12 at D2. That's a high major D2 league and a lot of work. Number one, I'm just happy for these guys. They get to experience big-time moments. They get to keep playing. They love each other. They have joy when they play. They have fun when they play. And joy is a great motivator. And then also I'm happy for our guys. And the first guy to grab me coming out was Winston Williams, who played for us when we were really getting this thing turned around. I can't wait to look at the texts from those guys in the past and how happy they are. Because they believe when we recruited them, some of those guys 13 years ago, that this was going to be a program that was going to win big games. And, man, their hands and their sweat are all over that, and that's the biggest thing to me that I'm proud of is the young men. Some of them are older men now that I've been coaching for a while, and what they've meant to Minot State basketball.
Caleb, being a leader on your team, what has this season meant for you and your teammates? Obviously having an outstanding year, but, again, to make program history to get to this championship game in the NSIC tournament.
Yeah, well, I've been here for 3 years, so my first year here was a bit of a kind of a rough go. We struggled a bit, but we always knew we were a hard team to beat when we were on our best. Even the year we struggled, we had 14 games where we lost by I think within 3 points, and so it really started 2 years ago. We really knew that if we could just fix some little minor details and mistakes and just kind of bring in the right guys and also develop the guys that are already there. I want to give a big shout out to, like Jaden Wysocki and Trey Brandt. Jaden played 19 minutes tonight. He doesn't get tons of shots up, but he's just a beast on defense with his length. He's always affecting shots. And I always know he's also crashing for rebounds all the time as well. And then Trey, he's just, like yesterday in their game before, he got in, instant impact, got a steal, made a big winning play. And he's just another, energy guy. He doesn't care how many minutes he gets or what he gets to do. He just wants to help the team any way he can. But so definitely to see this program get to where we are now, and I think with this win we might clinch a national title berth, which would be the first in program history. It's a great thing to be a part of, but obviously we just got to quickly turn around and focus on tomorrow's game, and then we'll go from there.
Coach, 10 lead changes, 10 ties.
Yeah, what a game.
The biggest lead was 8. And that's the defending national champions. For your guys to pull out a game like that against a team with that pedigree, it's got to make it kind of, I don't know, mean more, but that's a big statement.
Yeah, it's March, right? The madness has begun. And if you're playing in March, You're playing good teams. Whatever that number is, I mean, we got an 8 in front of us. We beat everybody that's here, that's still playing. So we know we can beat them. It's given us a lot of confidence. And, you know, what would you rather have than a close game in and out and guys highly competing and both teams just getting after it and laying everything on the line? It was a lot of fun that way. And then, you know, just like Caleb said, man, we have so many guys that just work. And Caleb talked about the 3 guys that his recruiting class in their 3rd year. They're special dudes, all of them are, because they always want to talk about each other. And I thought today they made the plays. We had a couple times where I didn't like how we shared the basketball. And, you know, our graduate assistant, you know, Coach Sobes got in that huddle before I could get in there, and he had a nice, calm talk with them while I cooled down a little bit and back. All right, and it's a team effort from the coaching staff too. And I trust those guys. I trust every guy in that locker room with everything because they've earned that trust. And we're just excited. You know, every game's so much fun for me to coach this group. I just want to keep coaching as long as possible, and we get to do that again tomorrow night.
Caleb, you guys, you got a long drive to get here. I know you won on campus to earn the opportunity, but not the biggest fan base that followed you here, but they were into it, man. What was that like? I mean, they were making a lot of noise.
I got to say this first. You can answer. The ones that came down, and man, I should say something about our band and our cheerleaders. How awesome to have them here. You know, it's 8 hours in a bus from home. Half those people in that bleachers there are Caleb's family.
Yeah.
So that's even special. And they know how to cheer. He knows how to rebound and play hard. They know how to cheer. But go ahead and talk about them.
My dad knows how to cheer, that's for sure. He's always got my back. He's always a big cheerer. Yeah, they only live an hour from here, small town, Orange City, most of my family. So, like, kind of when I come down here, it's kind of home games for me a little bit. Like, I get all the family to pop out. It's awesome. But, like, my girlfriend's family came down as well, and they live in Minot. So, and I also know there's multiple other fans who are big cheerers who came all the way down from Minot. So to have, you know, those fans travel 8 hours, and especially like our AD coordinating, getting our band down here with our cheerleaders, it's a big motivator when you come out of the locker room. You see there's people here to watch, and they're behind us, and they're no matter what happens, they're gonna cheer for us. You know, that's a big motivator that gets you going when you know that there's people who are here to watch you and see you perform, and they believe in you.
Caleb, just talk a little bit more too. But I mean, you had a double-double, 24 points, 18 rebounds. Talk a little bit. What was working for you, especially rebounding down in the paint there?
I guess, yeah. Well, I always go for rebounds. That's just one thing I always know I can do. If my shots aren't falling or I'm not getting to my spots, I always know that rebounding is something you can do every time. Every time a shot goes up, you can work around your guy and try to get a tip or just get a second chance opportunity. That's always something I've really liked to do, and I really think that's what I do. You know, I don't really see myself as a scorer. Scoring comes from the rebounding, but I really see myself more as a rebounder and getting opportunities for our teammates so we can continue to get shots and get more possessions than our opponent.
Caleb, we have another question for you too. I mean, up by 2 at the half. What was the conversation like amongst you and your teammates in the locker room, and then obviously from Coach Murken too, to come out and really sustain that and continue to lead on in the second half?
Yeah, well, as at first, us players, we just kind of told each other, hey, let's keep having fun. Let's keep doing what got us here. Share the ball. Keep getting where we're getting our shots from. Let's not, we don't have to change anything crazy. And also, but Coach has told us too, just to handle the pressure a little better, get our catches closer, because we were kind of letting them push us out a little bit towards the end of that first half, and they were getting some stops. And so we just needed to focus a little more on getting more back cuts, setting a couple more back screens, and just getting each other open a bit more. And we did that way better in the second half, and that's what helped us to continue to get shots and keep putting points on the board.
Coach, one last question for you. Quick turnaround for tomorrow.
Yep.
Championship game. What's that conversation like for you to your players and getting them prepped for that turnaround now?
Yeah, I mean, they were extremely focused when I got back in the locker room and ready to roll. They're a player-led group. That's the best thing about these guys. Is anytime I walk in the gym, I can see guys doing the right thing. They're guys getting shots. I walk in the weight room, they're getting after it. In practice, win or lose, it's the same guys. They show up, they do the right thing. So it's a lot of player-led stuff, more so than what I can do. But man, it's exciting just to watch this next game. Sometimes it's fun to play first. You get to watch these guys, see who will take on. It'll be a great team either way. And then we're excited to get back to the hotel, and we'll break some things down and man, our assistant coaches have got some ideas. They got a briefcase full of stuff, and a lot of it's going to be me talking about defense and rebounding, no matter what they give me, and trying to be active on that defensive side and then toughness stuff. And but it's just excited to keep playing. And man, that film is going to be the most exciting film room we've had of the year, I think, when we get back to the hotel.
Caleb, Coach, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Good luck in the championship
Awesome.
game
Thank you,
tomorrow
guys.
night.
Thank you.